This is MTG Burgeoning, and today we are going to open up some mail. Thank you for joining us on another one of our mail days. Today we have two small packages to zip through real quick, one from a retailer and one from a fellow YouTube Magic the Gathering content creator. Let's start with the YouTuber. This package here comes from Towe MTG. That's Towe. There was a 100 subscriber celebration that he conducted on his channel some time ago, and your boy Burge was lucky enough to be one of the six randomly selected subscribers to participate in his 100 subscriber giveaway, and that was divvying up a Dominaria United collector box. So in this envelope here are the cards from our 2 packs that Towe MTG so graciously gave us. In the description of this video, right down below, right down here, you can click on the link and see the actual video of the opening of that collector box, and it did not disappoint. For it being a Dominaria United collector box, it was off the chain. I encourage everybody to go check that video out. Drop Towe MTG a comment letting them know that MTG Burgeoning sent you his way. So let's check out the cards that we were so lucky enough to win here. We're just gonna, we're gonna open up, and apparently the cards are, okay, they're kind of in the envelope here. All right, they're kind of all over the envelope here. All right, so we're going to just carefully pull them out of here. Okay, that was unexpected. All right, okay, we got them. We're all right. I think we're okay here. So let's smooth out the cards so that we can relive all of the cards that we pulled here. All right, here we go. All right, we're okay. So the 2 packs are certainly mixed together now. So we're just going to go card by card and see exactly what we pulled. I mean, I watched the video, so I know what I have coming. But for all of the MTG Burgeoning community subscribers and watchers out there, let's take a quick whirl. We have a Temporary Lockdown, a Ratadrapic of Urborg, which, let's be honest, this would be an amazing card to squeeze in to an Esper Zombie EDH deck. And it's something that I'm really considering if I want to take my Will Helt's the Rot Cleaver zombie deck and kick him out of the command zone, putting in Verena Lich Queen in its place and making that an Esper Zombie EDH deck. We're thinking about it, baby. We're thinking about it. We got a Torsten, Founder of Benalia. This could look real good in our Niv Mizzet Reborn Guilds Matter deck. And Zur Eternal Schemer would look fantastic in our Sisay Enchantments Matter deck. And one of the crown cards that we got in those 2 packs is a Borderless Leaf Crowned Visionary. Very nice for all those elf decks out there, of course. Behind that, we got a Rada's Firebrand. All right, that'll work. A Phyrexian Token. Rivaz of the Claw. I resist the temptation of putting this into my Scion Dragon deck just for the purposes of maintaining that strong Vorthos in me. It's not a dragon, so it's hard for me to put a non-dragon creature into a dragon deck. After that, we have Hazazon, Shaper of Sand, with some Desert Walk. There's a nice dragon right there, Bladewing, Deathless Tyrant. Not a bad dragon to consider putting into some lucky EDH deck. And there we have a very fabulous foil Joda the Unifier, which will take the spot of my non-foil Joda the Unifier as the commander in our Legendary Humans Matter commander deck. All right, Joda. After that, we have another Rivaz of the Claw. Behind that, we have a Soldier Token. Next up is Jasmine, Boreal of the Seven. Now, I must say, way back at the beginning of the Building Around series, Jasmine was one of the first commanders that I had introduced in that series as the way in which to sculpt the core of an EDH deck around a particular general. Jasmine is exceedingly popular out there in the MTG YouTube community. You should check that video out just to see how many people have really enjoyed that deck tech. All right, after that, we have a Talus Lookout. Behind that, we have Wrath Weatherlight Stalwart and Wrath Weatherlight Stalwart ×2. A very, very nice stained glass foil island. That is just beautiful. That'll find a nice place somewhere. Sunlit Marsh, Take Up the Shield. Looks like we're getting all to the commons now. Haunting Figment. We get a Tribute to Urborg, an Automatic Librarian. You gotta have one of those. Founding the Third Path. And then next up we have Elashiel Core, Sadistic Pilgrim. This is one that I could see finding a way somehow into the 99 of the Athreos Shadowborn Apostle EDH deck. It is a very big possibility that that dude can find a place in that deck. Next, we have a Phyrexian Vivisector. Oh, Tatyova version 2.0. Love the artwork, not so much the actual abilities, but it's really hard to top one of the most powerful uncommon creatures in the history, legendary uncommon creatures in the history of Magic. That was Tatyova version 1.0. And now we got a Resolute Reinforcements as an uncommon, a second Jasmine Boreal. Here we have a Bortok Bone Rattle. Yeah, that's a Bortok Bone Rattle. Very hard to see that. At least it is for me. All right, nice foily forest. And to close out the two packs, we have Yavimaya Sojourner. Again, these were just gifted to me by ToMTG just as a way in which to celebrate his 100 subscribers. Again, go click the link in the video in the description below. Check out the opening. You will not be disappointed. It was a rather memorable Dominaria United collector box opening. So thank you, ToMTG. Thank you very, very much. And lastly, we have here one package from Cool Stuff Inc., which is one of MTG Burgeoning's long-standing part of his Magic purchasing profile. We have spent many, many moons ordering cards and product from Cool Stuff Inc. In this envelope are various singles from Commander Masters, a set that just released to, I guess we could say, a rather less than tepid reception from the MTG community. I, to some point, can definitely get behind the fact that the set boxes were outrageously overpriced. I mean, pre-release prices were over $350. And for just 24 packs, granted, you can get up to 6 total rare or mythic rares in a pack at a reduced percentage. But for 24 packs at 15 cards a shot, and you're telling me that you're going to charge over $100 more than the pre-release sale for a draft box, which, let's be honest, the draft box was priced appropriately if you look back at the history of, Masters sets throughout the recent years. And this is going all the way back to Ultimate Masters when that released back in December of 2018. That was around the exact same price as the Commander Masters draft. And I gotta tell you, there are a ton of very valuable reprints in that Commander in the Commander Master set itself. I just don't think it's to the point where it's, $350+ for a set box. So with that in mind, I decided to say, well, what cards could I get from the Commander Master set as singles that would be requisites to the price of one set box? Well, we're about to find that out right here. This is a package from Cool Stuff. It is filled with singles from Commander Masters. Some that I have wanted for some time, others that, well, let's be honest, were needed cards that will just go into pre-existing decks or just put into the coffers waiting for the future. And the total of these singles came up to be, if I remember exactly, it was like $3 and change under the pre-release price, market price of a set box of Commander Masters. So let's look through here. I mean, we hear it all the time, buy the singles, don't buy the product. Well, I mean, this is not going to be as memorable as opening up the packs would have been by no means, but it is the wiser investment. And you can let me know in the comment section below, is this better than getting one of those set boxes? So you're going to see a lot of redundancy here with these singles, but again, we're going with a value over quantity. So we're going with Cyclonic Rift at a reduced price. And I should note that the overall pricing of these singles is going to be skewed a little bit more favorably on my side, because this does take into account the 15% off discount that I get for singles through Cool Stuff Inc. So more often than not, when we reflect back on this portion of the video, this pile of singles is actually going to be more from a value standpoint than a set box of Double Masters would have been. But after paying for the tax, and then after having the discount taken off, this ends up coming in, like I said, a little over $3 less. So let's see what we got here. We have multiple Cyclonic Rifts. There's 4 of them there. So there's 4 Cyclonic Rifts. After that, we're going to look at 1 copy of Deflecting Swat. The upshift of Demonic Tutor to Mythic was a bit disappointing. There were a couple of upshifting of cards that were always rare up to Mythic Rare in this set that, I mean, I suppose that could offset some of the downshifting that took place, because there was quite a lot of downshifting from Mythic to Rare, Rare to Uncommon, Uncommon to Common. The 2 that stand out the most to me is Zakama going down from Mythic to Rare, really? And I know this might not register much with the MTG community, but it certainly does for me. I play with a lot of white in my Commander decks, and one of the cards I pull right away whenever I start, creating the white part of my deck is a Generous Gift. It's a white beast within, destroys any permanent that's in play. And to see that downshifted from uncommon to common, for me, that's a huge deal, because now that's going to bring the overall cost of Generous Gift down to even less than it was before. And even with it being reprinted numerous times a year in Commander decks, that was still a card that was $2-3 regularly. It shouldn't be like that anymore, and I am most appreciative with that downshifting. So back to this, we got some Demonic Tutors here. 3 Demonic Tutors. Again, you can never have too many Demonic Tutors. I play with a lot of black, too, so black is definitely going to be host to one of the top cards being a Demonic Tutor. After that, we're going to see multiple Fierce Guardianships. I think we're right at the 5 mark. Yep, 5 Fierce Guardianships. Shoom, to go right there. And to close things out, just a couple copies of Oran Frostfang. May not appear like it, but this was a really expensive card that I wanted no deal. I wanted nothing to do with buying one of these singles at its price before it was reprinted in this set, which was routinely well over $20. So they are not even close to what each of these 2 cards were here. And you wouldn't think of it, but this is a pretty really good card in a lot of different kinds of decks. I mean, I have a copy of this in the Chromat deck. It's the All Snow deck. This is in the Changeling. I'm sorry, not the Changeling. Well, this is in the Momir Vig Cube. So there were definitely some copies of those that I wanted to make sure I could get on the cheap, because they were copies that I had been needing for quite some time. So there you have it. I know we're not looking at quantity here, but we're looking at quality. 9 blue cards and 6 non-blue cards, and you could figure out why the value was just such a high amount when considering what you were going to spend to get a sealed set box of Commander Masters. And that's going to do it for this mail day, MTGBC. Let me know in the comments section below what you think about these singles, and whether you would have taken the single route, or if you would have spun the wheel and threw the dice and lived the experience of opening a box of Commander Masters. Because I got to tell you, that the experiences of opening up a box, they could stick with you for a very, very long time. And on the other side of that same statement, I don't know that I'll have much memory of this as I move forward in my life of Magic. Experience versus cost, with the confounding variable being value. It's a rich tapestry, guys. It's a rich tapestry. All right, folks. MTG Burgeoning, your channel for all things Magic.